In the coming years, American developers of military equipment and weapons plan to continue the process of updating the fleet of US Army armored vehicles even more actively. It's no secret that these updates in ranks of US military equipment are taking place against the backdrop of the success of designers and engineers from Russia, who also present their latest developments in the field of military equipment to the world community. Hello, Newsoldier in touch! Today we will not talk about the latest developments of armored vehicles, but about those who managed to prove themselves and continue to be modernized, the Russian ZIL Karatelь and the American Caiman. Why are military specialists from different countries interested in these type machines so much? The fact is that in the last 15 to 20 years, the technologies of wars have fundamentally changed in the world. On the one hand, the fleeting actions of various military formations on large footholds, using the latest weapons, equipment and automated control of the entire process of hostilities, have become fundamentally new. For example, Operation Desert Storm in 1991 or Operation Iraqi Freedom in 2003. On the other hand, internal armed conflicts on an ethnic and religious basis, which are characterized by terrorist acts, have become more frequent and often taking place on the streets of towns and cities, or even at individual facilities and in residential buildings. This required the creation of special forces equipped with the highly effective countermeasures to capture objects inside peaceful territories. In accordance with the change in the technology of warfare, military equipment must also be changed. Thus, the designers of both countries are faced with the task of creating a new generation of vehicles in the 4x4 class, which should be distinguished by high traction and dynamic qualities, maneuverability and mobility, the ability to carry the most modern weapons and protective equipment, and also have the ability to armor the crew and ease of use. And of course, to allow the creation of the maximum number of modifications based on the basic platform to perform special military tasks. Realizing this concept, Russia created the ZIL Karatelь and America Caiman. ZIL Karatelь. During the design of the armored car Karatelь, MAO ZIL interacted with various specialized organizations. At the same time, analytical material was collected and summarized on multi-purpose vehicles of foreign and domestic production. Studies of the tactical and technical characteristics and driving performance of promising models were carried out together with the units of Combined Arms Services, the FSB, the Airborne Forces and the Ministry of Internal Affairs. In January 2009, in the ZIL model shop, a model of the Karatelь armored car was made on a scale of 1 to 10 from aluminum alloy, taking into account the fundamental layout parameters. The distance from the bearing surfaces of the wheels to the upper flanges of the frame side members is 1000 mm. The front and rear wheel track is 2100 mm. The wheel base is 3800 mm. When developing the design of the car body, the crew bodying was performed according to the 1+9 scheme. The driver's and commander seats are located in the front of the body, on the sides of the frame behind the engine line. 6 crew members are placed back-to-back on the frame along the longitudinal axis. The 2 crew members sit facing backwards in a row between the rear wheel arches. With such a seating arrangement, all-around visibility and the possibility of combat along the entire perimeter are provided. Quick leaving the body was made possible thanks to wide doorways. What do you think? Are there any drawbacks to this kind of the crew boarding? Leave your comments below the video. And towards the end of our story, find out the opinion of experts on this matter. The main features of the machine design are one-volume body, aggressive radiator grille, faceted form, narrowing of the body to the bottom. The body of the armored car Karatelь consists of 2 parts, front and undercarriage. The inclination of the front and undercarriage parts coincides at the place of their joint. It continues on the undercarriage, forming the slope of the windshields, and passes through the radius band into the horizontal roof. The rear part of the hull is quite elongated, which is dictated by the possibility of placing a fighter with a machine gun there. The back part is cut off by a vertical surface with a loophole. In the planes forming the narrowing of the back, there are windows with loopholes for 2 rear fighters firing. The side flat windows with loopholes are located similarly, vertically. This provides a good visibility to the fighters sitting with their backs to each other. The roof, windshields and hood are divided longitudinally into 3 parts, the middle and 2 sides, located at an angle to the middle. The middle zone may vary depending on the function of a particular modification. On the sides, the roof passes into vertical glass. Under the glass, the surface of the door has a stepped contour and narrows towards the bottom. This solution provides an anti-high explosive effect, narrowing the bottom to reduce damage to the passenger compartment when hitting a landmine. The stepped section of the vehicle in the transverse direction reduces the area of its surface located at right angles to the direction of fire. The upper doors open up, the lower doors open down, forming a step that does not go beyond the vehicle side. The upper flaps in their rise position also do not protrude beyond the side clearance of the car, which allows it to move with open doors and increases the combat capabilities. When creating an army vehicle for combat, a traditionally difficult task is the need to use steel armor, which has a large mass, 120 to 140 kilograms per square meter, reducing the vehicle's carrying capacity to almost zero and cutting interior space. Considering the relatively low permissible gross weight of the new multi-purpose vehicle, no more than 8 tons, an alternative to steel armor had to be found. In October 2008, ZIL established contact with Ford Technologia of the FSB Special Purpose Center, after which research of new protection methods of an armor vehicle with one-volume body began. As a result, armor plates of varying degrees of protection can be hung on the body of the Caratel. This solution allows you to get a multifunctional and easy repairable armored car. External fastening of doors and hatches ensures the preservation of the opening kinematics when using armor of various thicknesses. The body of the Caratel has a unified attachment to the chassis, which allows you to solve the issues of maintainability and versatility when installing various superstructures. To what extent do you think this armored method is a reliable protection for the crew? Leave your comments below the video. The architecture of the armored car Caratel is distinguished by faceted forms. It was equipped with a solid frame and reliable units. The chassis of the armored car Caratel is made as a single unit and not as a set of separate components and assemblies. Designers managed to solve complex problems in the arrangement of various units options. In the course of joint studies with the SPC FSB of Russia in September 2009, a full-size running prototype model of the Caratel car was built. Its truck is 2100 mm, the wheelbase is 3800 mm. The mass of the curb sample, without armor, reaches 4570 kg. The length of the car is 6330 mm. Width is 2397 mm. Height is 2500 mm. Tire size is 12.00 R20. Wheel diameter is 1140 mm. Customers in Russia of this type of machines are such departments as the FSB, the Ministry of Defense, the Ministry of Emergency Situations, the Ministry of Internal Affairs, etc. The modern appearance of the armored car Caratel for the better differs from the prototype. The car looks even more menacing and impressive. But let's be objective. Despite all of the above, experts still have lots of questions about this car. Here are just a few of them. Why was it necessary to use so much glass even armored? When did such a measure somehow increase the security of a combat vehicle? The complete absence of a turret on the roof looks extremely strange. After all, this is not a pleasure carriage. It is not clear why the ZIL Caratel is superior to the same Tiger. And is it superior? Finally, there is a large number of imported components. Why is it needed to spend a lot of money on German automatic transmissions and Italian diesel? Side view windows look especially strange. What was the point of making them at a 90-degree angle? There is absolutely no hope that this armor will withstand even under fire from something like a PKM, not to mention a more serious machine gun. There is still no information from the manufacturer about the actual load capacity. Information about 800 kg slipped, but if so, everything is very bad. Even if we discard the driver and the commander, 10 paratroopers in full armament should sit in the car. The weight of each is obviously not less than 100 kg. So, 2 will have to be thrown out in order for the car to cope with the load? In general, there are many ambiguities. In any case, the car is clearly not intended for further modernization in terms of increasing armor protection. In addition, the seats for the crew do not stand up to criticism. If something more powerful than a defensive hand grenade explodes under the bottom, then people will have a very hard time. Normal cars in this class have a special seat suspension system that minimizes the effect of the blast wave in the event of mine collision. In the variant we are considering, there is nothing of the kind. And the number of holes in the armored hull looks completely ridiculous. Hefty openings for doors and windows, a roof hatch. Most likely, this monster has no chance to withstand a more or less powerful landmine. So the car is clearly unusable for direct work in the combat zone. Neither headlights, nor mirrors, nor even the optics of video cameras are protected from fire even by small arms. In addition, the car has absolutely naked axle traction and other details. This is suitable for civilian truck, but somehow it does not fit with the appearance of the vehicle that must move in a zone of a possible military conflict. Then, draw your own conclusions. We will move on to the Caiman review. Caiman. The Caiman armored car is manufactured by BAE Systems. The car was created on the basis of the FMTV truck. The armor level of the Caiman corresponds to the level 2 ballistic protection according to the NATO STA-NAG 4569 standard. Mine resistance is rated at levels 2B and 4A. According to the same standard, this should ensure the preservation of the crew life when undermining 6 kg of TNT under the bottom and 8 kg of TNT under the wheel. The Caiman mine-protected vehicle has up to 95% of common components and assemblies with an FMTV truck, which ensured a relatively low cost per vehicle. The simplicity of design and the relative ease of maintenance played a decisive role in choosing this armored car when it was put into service in 2007. The Caiman armored vehicle is equipped with an automatic transmission with all-wheel drive, a central tire pressure control system and an anti-lock braking system. There are two basic modifications of the armored personnel carrier, with a 4x4 and 6x6 chassis. They differ in weight and size characteristics, the number of personnel transported and carrying capacity. Caiman have the ability to carry 10 people, and they can be equipped with different types of manned and remotely controlled weapon stations. In addition to the existing ballistic protection provided by design and materials, vehicles can be equipped with advanced armor packages to protect against future threats. A 330 horsepower diesel engine provides the car with a maximum highway speed of 105 km per hour. The result of work to improve machines with mine and ambush protection Caiman MRAP was the Caiman MTV multi-terrain vehicle, a machine for various terrain conditions. The Caiman MTV, compared to the Caiman MRAP, provides a higher level of survivability and mobility to move in difficult and unpredictable conditions. The Caiman MTV features an upgraded and improved armored capsule over the existing Caiman MRAP, as well as a powerful new vehicle transmission, chassis and independent suspension. A large useful armored internal volume is optimal for various missions, including the transfer of a combat unit of 10 fully equipped people. The Caiman MTV delivers an effective combination of interior space, tactical mobility, operator comfort and survivability through the addition of a reinforced monolithic underbody, reinforced chassis frame and high-performance blast-absorbing seats. Improving the mobility of the machine is achieved by increasing the truck size, strengthening the independent suspension and updating the transmission. The interior upgrade includes upgrades to the temperature control system to protect military personnel and computer-assisted identification of equipment critical hot and cold air distribution. For a tactical vehicle of its size, the Caiman MTV delivers a high level of performance in a variety of terrain while providing optimum stability, maneuverability and capacity. That's all! In the comments under the video, answer the question: which do you think is better in the end, Karatel or Caiman? And do not forget to push the like button if you liked the video. Narrated by Maxim Nikulin for Newsoldier channel.